Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is your English language instructor, Dr. Noorul Huda. I hope you all are doing great and enjoying the blessings of Allah. And I'm sure that by now you have already done your bridging activity. And this time, yes, your answers do not have to match mine because this is an open ended question. But remember, you have to write any adjective with the noun of your choice. Why we are doing this? Because we are going to learn two different types of adjectives today. Why? Because this is the demand of the SLO, which says that identify the adjectives that behave like noun, for example, the sick and the poor, and restricted positions of the adjective. For example, the cat is afraid or the afraid cat. So we are going to learn two different types today. Now let's look at this slide, and it clearly tells you that this is what your focus look like in the book, but we are going to read it in detail. So the topic is adjectives in motion. Yeah. Now let's look at this. So what are normal adjectives? They have a simple job. Normal adjectives have simple job. Like they usually describe words. They tell more about a person or a thing, and normally they just stand next to the noun to describe it. For example, red apple. Simple as that. But some adjectives have hidden superpowers and special rules. So these are the things which we are going to read today. So we call them shape shifters. They change the shape of the noun. Some adjectives can magically transform into nouns. They group people together who share common characteristics. And instead of describing one person, they describe a whole category. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean this. When we add the with the adjectives, it becomes a whole group of people. What do I mean by that? I mean the sick. The sick. So everyone knows that sick is an adjective. Sick means all the people who are currently sick. But if I'm going to add the before the sick, it means that they act like a main noun in the sentence. Can you see? The sick need proper medical care. So the sick in this case is the noun. They have transferred themselves into a noun and they represent a whole category of the people who are sick. Again, poor is adjective, but if I'm going to add the with the poor, it means the whole category, the whole group of people who are poor. And in this case, it's not acting as an adjective, it is acting as a noun. Now let's look at another example. Elderly means old people. So the elderly is no longer an adjective now. This is acting as a noun in this sentence. Now let's read it. The elderly requires special care. Now, can you see that by simply adding the elderly transferred into a noun and it represents a whole group now. Got it? Now, understand the position of the adjectives. Attribute positions of adjective means adjective comes first and then comes the noun. This is the simple rule. Now, in some cases, we call adjectives as predicative position, in which verbs comes first and then comes the adjectives. How? Now let's look at this. And we call them picky adjectives. Got it? Now let's look at this. Afraid. Afraid is an adjective. This adjective always have to come before a verb. We all know is a being verb. So these adjectives always come before a verb. So the cat is afraid is correct. But if you say the afraid cat run away is incorrect because afraid wants a verb before it. Got it? Now let's look at this example. Another word is asleep. Sleep also want a verb before it. You cannot write asleep without a verb. In that case, the sentence is going to be wrong. So the baby is asleep. Now let's look at this example. Alone. Alone also wants a verb before it. And feels is a verb. And this is adjectives as you already know. So some adjectives wants a verb before it. Got it? For example, we have just learned like afraid, asleep, and alone. They want a verb to hide. Always remember that. This is an adjective and they want a verb to hide. But some adjectives, when added with the becomes a whole group of people. I hope you have understood. Now, to check your understanding of the focus, we have designed this formative check for you. Do it in the class with the help of your teacher. Then go home, do the homework with the help of your parents. I hope you have learned something new today. See you again in the next Be Lift. Till then, bye bye. Allah Hafiz.